Welcome to the tool demo drafting part 2 video. Make sure you've finished everything from our part 1 video, meaning all your construction lines and layout of both the top, front, and side views. So before we begin, we're going to make sure that we have a nice sharp pencil and our T-square and our page is laid out correctly so it's nice and square. I'm going to start by drawing the hidden lines on the front view, and then we're going to move to the top view and start drawing all our object lines. If we remember correctly, all our object lines need to go over top of an already drawn construction line. I make sure to use a straight edge to fill in all of these lines. I'm drawing slowly and carefully to make sure I keep the correct layout that I've already done previously. Now if you'll notice, I'm going to start in the top left corner and I'm going to work my way down and away from that corner. The reason I'm doing this is to avoid my hand coming in contact with these new object lines. When that happens, I have a high chance of smudging and transferring a lot of that lead onto the rest of my paper. If I work in this fashion, so from the top left corner down to the bottom right, I will eliminate that. Now if I'm left-handed, I might work in the opposite direction. So I'd work in the top left corner down. Make sure you have a tight grip on all your tools as you're drawing. So you can see my 45-degree square using for all those lines. Now my 30-60 square, it's always securely in place with my T-square. Never trying to freehand anything. The only exception here is when I do my end triangle. This is at an angle that my T-square and triangles can't create on their own. But I have to make sure again that this is properly secured before I complete my construction line, or my object line. That was the top view, and now we're going to move on to our front view. So the nice thing here is I can draw most of these lines that are going horizontal just using my T-square. And I'm going to again work from left to right to try and avoid smudging. And I can complete my entire front view, including the 5mm drops or cut lines for my cross cuts to the depth cut here. Now we can move on to our side view, and as you can see, it's pretty simple. I can do my vertical lines again with my T-square and triangle, and then the horizontal lines with just the T-square. Now that I have all three views laid out, I can start my dimension and extension lines. So I need to make sure that for every line on here that requires a measurement, I have an extension line and a dimensioning line. So the extension line I leave about a centimeter, half a centimeter to a centimeter of space, and then I draw the extension line connecting the two extension lines, and then I'm going to add my dimension somewhere around the middle. Now if I have more than one measurement going on, I'm going to make a larger extension line, and I can put multiple dimension lines in there. So as you can see here, when I'm adding to the top of our triangle here, I'm going to add a smaller one below, and then I'll have the full length above. This way I account for all the dimensions I need. Okay, so now we're going to add the dimension lines, and I'm making sure to draw my exact dimensions, not the scale dimensions, when I'm adding them to my project. And I try and make sure that they're always in the middle of my dimension line. And you'll notice I also don't have the unit of measure here, because remember that's in our scale box, or our title box, located in the scale. So I've made sure to account for all the measurements, including a couple I left on the front view, and I'm adding the last one here on the side view, and that's pretty much it. Next thing to do would be go through and erase any stray lines and fill out my evaluation sheet. Congratulations.